Aloha. Welcome back here in Liverpool by the Lambanana. We're going to take a little walk down the back of the Richmond. Going back about 4 or 5 years now, there was a massive community. This is where everyone kind of stayed that was homeless. There was a car park down here, and we managed to get into some little back rooms, and yeah, we ended up having beds and everything in there. Yeah, it was cosy until the council turned up and turfed us out. Trespassing, it wasn't an offence, no one broke in. But yeah, we'll go down the back and see what's there now. Our live birds there in the distance. This was a shop I used to frequent every morning. Come in about 7:30. I'm just going to say that, you know, as it is, and you know how I lived it, but you know, obviously I was addicted to drugs. At one point I'd come in here, get down them steps, and just get whatever I could get my hands on and run out of the shop, you know. Kind of laugh about it now, you know what I mean. Embarrassing obviously at the time, got me into a lot of trouble, got myself locked up and whatnot. But yeah, things you do with an addiction. But yeah, this was an interesting time, this was, because this was when I first started smoking spice. Like I say, you know, obviously everyone was smoking the spice, so they kind of all gravitated, you know, tend to group up and whatnot. To where, yeah, one point just down here, yeah, we were all in the back of the car park, 15, 20 of us. Half of us had beds, you know. Yeah, we had it for that long. This place here now, this is the back of the Richmond Hotel. Lovely hotel inside, beautiful. I think they use it for immigration. Well, I know they do actually. It's used for immigration. The irony, you know. Down here now, just where the railings are. This is where we were all in there, all the homeless. And this black door here is like a back entrance to the Richmond Hotel. This is a lovely establishment. Everyone deserves to be happy in life, you know. But for me personally, you look after your own first. I'm sorry if that's controversial, but you know, all I needed was that base somewhere that I could deal with my problems and fix up, you know, and I'd be alright. And once I got that, I got it. And we got there, but down there in the guts it was. Used to be able to get in there, and there was a couple of back rooms. Yeah, we'd all just be chilling in there. You alright, mate? Security? Yeah. Here or here? In here, yeah, the new place. Yeah. I was just saying, I used to be homeless, and we all used to go in there like years ago, down the bottom there, yeah.
Now they just close this one.
Yeah. Go on, have a nice evening, mate.
Thank you.
So yeah, you know, it's nuts when you think about it, because like I say, I remember it, and we're going back 5 or 6 years. There'd be half a dozen blokes there all smoking ciggies, and right next door you'd have a dozen people struggling with addiction, homeless, you know. And I think if anyone's given a solid platform to move into, away from other drug addicts, i.e., you know, throwing people in hostels just isn't the answer, you know, because they're full of drug addicts anyway, you know, so you're going to fall wayside to the people that live in there. And it is a difficult thing to process and get through and get over. But by the graces of, I don't know, by the graces of God and myself, I know it was me ultimately who's put the work in to get me out of it. Knowing these people out here and living with them on the ground, I know the individuals who could be capable, and I know the ones that couldn't, you know. There we go, magical mystery tour. Just round the back, you'd have a load of people sleeping homeless. I mean, the world's going a bit crazy right now, I think, isn't it? Look how lovely Liverpool is, eh, Jan?
Oh, absolutely.
Loads of beautiful, stunning buildings, isn't there?
There is. Everywhere you look.
Mum down this. Someone wants to go in. Trying to think. Nice. Yeah, I'll take you somewhere. Stay down here for a little bit. It was alright seeing some of the lads then, you know, but again, Jan, you know, it breaks me heart.
I know.
You know, walking away and, you know, I know a lot of them are compass mentors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
do better things, and the energy and effort, like, you know, like I'm trying to do myself now, the energy and effort they put into dealing with addiction, going robbing, doing this, doing that, going begging, whatever they were doing for the money, you know, if they put that effort into something positive, how much of an impact it would have on their lives, you know? But again, it's not even, yeah, the space helps, doesn't it? But ultimately, I think the individual, you know, I've got to, you know, they've got to want that. Now, there's a couple of other hotels. What's this one? Is this the back of the Shankly? Or is it the other one? Dixie Dean, this one here. Is it Dixie? So yeah, you've got the Dixie and the Shankly facing each other. Hey, how mad's that, eh? Lovely. I'll do it for half live. Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, it's not that dear, to be honest. An extra few quid, you know. And there's the Dixie. I love being in the city at night. Nice, isn't it? I mean, it didn't seem that way when I was out here, do you know what I mean? It was, but like you say, you know, you don't take none of that in, do you? There we go. Radio City Tower. Nah, but it is ace, you know what I mean? For anyone out there who hasn't been to Liverpool might have heard it's terrible, it's not, you know. It's probably this, and I've been to some cities around the country, it's the safest city I've ever lived in. And the friendliest, yeah. Everyone's always open for a chat, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's the back of the thing, you know. We used to go down here, Jan.
Yeah.
And so we wait for that to open, you know, car to go in, and then we'd go in, yeah. And like, if you go down to the back rooms, there's loads of you know, with the furniture, broken furniture, and the new furniture and stuff to go in the rooms, and we found like little back rooms there. They had beds and pillows and everything. It was great. 1880 bar. We'll go up by the Georges, eh?
Yeah.
Used to stay up there as well. I liked it up there though. You know, I was in my own little bubble even though I was homeless. I like the energy, the feel of the buildings, you know. You can kind of feel the history almost, you know.
Yeah. Looks so stuff.
But yeah, not the best time of year to be homeless this. Like I say, you've got all these, you know, different quarters, you know, the different,
Yeah.
you know, types of people go to and things, you know what I mean? In the way, no matter what part of town, you'll always find someone who's homeless.
Yeah, you will.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of, you know, for example, you know, the Marriott Hotel, you'd have a tent there,
Yeah.
you know, with people from this. And I'm not, that sounds awful, but people who are from the city, who are on the streets, might have been initially, you know, they've let themselves down. But it doesn't mean don't give them another chance, you know.
No, of course it doesn't. Everyone's those chances.
You know, if you wash your hands with everyone who does something wrong, we'd all be fucking... Coming up to the Art Georges. Love the Georges. Amazing building, isn't it? We'll go through the park and round the front, see if anyone's round there. Beautiful city of Liverpool. But yeah, I'd agree with that, Jan. Definitely the friendliest city.
Yeah, definitely.
Like anywhere, you know, anywhere can be bad. Everywhere's got the rough
Yeah.
parts and whatnot, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think we get a bit of a rough ride. As far as, you know, people thinking it's a bit, you know, a bit mad.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. Everywhere's got the mad places, haven't they? You know? You know, you'd have that market here,
Right, yeah.
making millions
Yeah.
over that period.
Yeah.
And at the other side of that little wall there, you'd have them all homeless, sleeping there,
Yeah. Exactly.
you know, going hungry.
Yeah.
Some fascinating statues, like, isn't there? That with the wings. I haven't been in these museums for years, so let's come and have a look.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
For
But yeah, I've stayed up there on them steps in the night. Up here is another one. Stayed up there. Again, it's all still lit up here, you know what I mean? There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So, not that I was ever worried about, you know what I mean? But you've still got to, you know, you're out on the streets, you've got to find some little corner where you can get a couple of hours kept, you know what I mean? With, you know, without the fucking worry if someone going to come and fucking throw a can at your head or, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, there's loads of horrible kids out there like that do that stuff to the homeless. Well, I was in a tent once and just asleep, minding my own business. And obviously a group of lads have gone past and one's pushed one of them into the tent and fucking landed on top of me. You know what I mean? It just wasn't nice, you know what I mean? They're laughing and joking and you're trying to grab a couple of hours. You know, it's a bit nuts. At London Road. We'll go up there some other time. Almost lifelike, aren't they?
Yeah.
Empire. But yeah, some amazing buildings in Liverpool, isn't there?
Yeah. Also, it's stunning.
Right, we want to finish up. Leave it here, it's yours. Enjoy your evening, guys.